Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit that subscribe bar or give me a thumbs up or hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post my next video, or otherwise you can look me up at www.garethcahoon.co.uk. Today I just want to talk about the bravery of the Israeli hostages and the cardace of Hamas. Israel obviously has the upper hand, and Hamas is just utter scum for the way they treated those dead Israelis and putting the two Bebas brothers in the wrong coffins, bringing a Palestinian woman in the wrong place, and instead of Shuri Bebas, the the Bebas brothers' mom, they brought a Palestinian woman, and then after Israel kicked up, they miraculously found her, and the humiliating things that they made the Israelis do, like kiss the head of the Hamas fighter. But I sort of seen there that Israel got her own back at Ismail Haniyeh's funeral and one of his deputies, when they were all uh, gathered together in the stadium. The Israeli Air Force flew over the stadium in the same planes that bombed the compound where Ismail Haniyeh was murdered, showing that Israel is the valiant one and that Hamas is nothing other than a genocidal terrorist organization spouting for a terror group. But yes, also, the other day when those 4 bodies were brought out, did you happen to see the kids? They brought all the kids out and the mothers, and they were all cheering and celebrating this like it was Christmas or some holiday that is celebrated, but these were celebrating like they'd just been given £1 million or something. They were cheering away, and it was an anathema to me that anybody could celebrate the death of 2 baby boys and their mother and an elderly gentleman. The Bible has very many antidotes for what happens to people like this. And the Bible promises many times over how Israel will be the mother of the nations, and every nation will flow to her, and any nation that doesn't come up to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles, well, they're not going to have any rain. So God is siding with Israel no matter what the world community is thinking or doing. And you would have thought that after the pro Palestine movement saw those poor, innocent, little defenseless children being murdered by the hands of Hamas, that it would make them see the error of their ways. But no, they were celebrating in London, they were celebrating in New York, they were celebrating in many capitals of the world. And even in Israel, they were handing out sweets in jubilant celebration of murder, which is sick. It means they're sick and sad individuals, the people that do that. We need to be the ones who stand in the light, because the longer you stand in the light, the more you can understand and see just how bad the darkness is and how overwhelming. So we've always said after the Holocaust, never again. But it needs to be more than that now. Never again. It needs to be never ever again. Because unfortunately, as we all thought that after the Holocaust, nobody would ever want to say anything to the Jewish people. But I guess the devil is alive, and his desire is to have all of Israel for himself. And this is why we're in these turmoils. And only after the day after that Israel received their bodies of the dead back, didn't Hamas try and blow up 3 buses full of people. But the only thing was they didn't have the mental faculty to set the bombs at the right time, which meant the bombs went off when the buses were empty. If it had went off at the time that the Hamas terrorist wanted, or there would have been at least 300 people on each of the buses, which would have been 900 casualties. You see, God stands with Israel, and because of the bombings, Israel's decided to go into Judea and Samaria and root out the evil and bring their tanks in to Jenin to stop the terrorists from having their way and creating any more terror. So, if I could ask you all to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, that their borders would be secure, that their people would be free, that there would be rain in their land, that there would be aliyah, that everything they put their hands to would prosper. In Yeshua's mighty name I pray. Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah.